What is up, Mav fans and hoop heads? Hope your vibes are immaculate today. I'm AG, your host, CEO, director, manager, and all that. Welcome on into another episode of Mavs Rundown. I appreciate you for listening. And today I have another special returning guest, Lakers Chris. What up, Chris?
What's up, AG? Chilling, man. Here to talk Mavs. Here to talk Lakers.
Right, and appreciate you being on, bro. And tonight, Lakers Chris joins us after, of course, the Mavs played the Lakers and kind of gave them a little beat down, 128 to 110. And pretty much this game was Luka Doncic's signature game, basically. I was gonna say this is a signature, but I mean this is just a hot game. But really, it's just like a Luka kind of takeover game because that's pretty much what he did. Because if we go go ahead and get into the game real quick, because it's pretty quick summary. No offense, but in the first quarter, man, it was a Luka masterpiece, man. He went hot. He was hot, and he went off for. Oh, I didn't went off. I know it was like 17 points. Where do I have it? 17 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 7-11 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, and was just crazy. And then Luka joined, ironically, Russell Westbrook as the only player this season with a 15, 5, and 5 quarter this season. So that's a little side note. I thought that was pretty crazy, playing the Lakers. And really, when Luka set it off, he was just, of course, scoring on all levels and then just finding everybody. And when he was finding everybody, they were hitting because the Mavs were just, they were shooting. There were guns blazing tonight. And they ended up shooting in the game 43% from three, 51% from the field. I mean, it was just a complete takeover because, everyone's hitting. And by the second quarter, Luka had 25, 5, and 6 at the halftime. And has had like a 26-point lead at half. And basically held a 20-point lead pretty much the whole game. Basically pretty much the whole game to the end. The Lakers kind of climbed a little bit. But, that's pretty much it. But Luka captured his 46th career triple-double with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. He had a triple-double.
That man's a beast.
He finished the game with 34 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists, and 1 steal in 30 minutes, and only had 1 turnover. And in doing so, he ties Giannis as that was his second triple double in 30 minutes or less, and that ties Giannis for the most all time in NBA history. So that's pretty crazy. And also with that triple double, it ties Wilt Chamberlain for 5th all time with his Luka's 46th career triple double. That ties Wilt Chamberlain for 5th all time. So basically, this was just a Luka Magic kind of night. It was good for the Mavs because we also play tomorrow night at Cleveland. So they're getting on the plane right now and having to head over. So it was good to come in focused and handle business and be able to rest, most of the guys in fourth quarter to be ready for tomorrow night. And that's just something we haven't seen. This type of win, to me, shows growth for the Mavs because this is something the past, let's say, like 2-3 years, this is a game where we would have folded. This is a game where we should win, and we should do it technically in dominating fashion. But then, in the past, the Mavs have really folded sometimes, and a lot of times it seems like. And now this year, I feel like now it's like they're taking that learning curve and they're finally, getting over the hump of that initial, hard, tough love, learning curve, and really learning how to beat the teams they're supposed to, and coming out with the right intensity. And tonight showed that. And we had Brunson finish with 12 points. He was only 3 of 12 from 3, 0 of 3. I want to be a downer. That was a little bit bad, but I mean, he had everybody else was hitting, so you didn't really need it. We had Reggie Bullock go 5 of 8. He had a slump buster last game. He went 7-11 from 3, and now he continues that with 5 of 8. So that's good. We want to see him continue shooting good. Dodo 2 of 4. And then Bertans was really big off the bench. He had 4 threes, 4 or 5. That Latvian laser just comes in, and it was one of those nights where he was in flamethrower mode, and finished with 14 points, 5 rebounds. Dinwiddie still played really good off the bench. Came in, gave us 13 off a very efficient 4 of 8, 2 of 6 from three. Only 3 or 6 from the line. Missed 3 free throws. That's pretty off his rhythm, but still, Mavs did good. Josh Green even did really good coming in. Had 12 points, 2 3-pointers, especially one in the first half where he had no hesitation and just pulled at the end of the first quarter. And that was something you could tell that's growth, because before he would have gotten that open three, he would have started dribbling out of it and wouldn't even took that shot. Now he took it, got the pass, no hesitation, took the shot, he's making it. That's good growth, what we want to see from the Mavs. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Reggie Bullock was the hot man from the night, getting Luka's passes and really finishing them. He finished with 17. And then, yeah, this is just a Luka Magic night. What are your thoughts on this game, Lakers, Chris?
AG, man, from what I saw, first and foremost, the Mavs are absolutely, from somebody who's not on the Mavs side, that is not a Mavs fan, unbiased, opinion. The Mavs are definitely better, and a scary team. The last 2 years, even last year, after being able to play the Clippers 2 years ago in the bubble, and how well they played and losing in 6 games, even last year, you still question, can they beat this team? I know they can beat the Clippers, but now I'm not even questioning it. I'm saying that they're definitely a team that's definitely going to go the second round. It's not even a question now. Now that's going to go back along to what seed they get and blah blah blah. But for right now, from the material that I've seen as a, again, non-Mavs fan, you guys got a legit top 3 team in the West. And to say that, knowing that Phoenix is, one of the best teams, and to know that Golden State is back, to know that the Lakers ended up doing a lot worse than I think even you, who's a Mavs fan, would have expected. I don't think you would have
For
seen
sure.
them really going lower than 4 or 5, in the West,
Right.
and to see what they're going through is terrible. But what I saw tonight was a team that is gelling as a group. A team that is not scared. They know their identity. Every player knows their role. And I think for a young team, for a team with a new coach, with a new culture that they're trying to build in Dallas, it's absolutely positive, because again, I still don't think Luka has a legit number 2 option. So when he gets that legit number 2 option, and now you can get Dinwiddie to give you, 18, 15, 18 points a game. And you got role players like Brunson, who's a starter, but he's still, your 4th or 5th best player, a Dodo, a Bertans off the bench, the other guy you were saying, the new dude, he's probably his second year. Forget 12 points. Was it Josh Green? No.
Josh Green. Oh yeah, the young, Josh Green.
So that's a guy who's young. I always still like Dwight Powell. Obviously Reggie Bullock is a 3-and-D guy. I'm starting to see an identity from the Mavs that I haven't seen in the last 2 years. And the last 2 years, I think we all can agree, at least 2 years ago in the bubble, they overexceeded their expectations. They played really well, and they were pretty much 2 games away from going to the second round of the West. With basically a Porzingis who was not even giving you guys 75% of his worth. So I think from an outside perspective, I really like your team, and I've been telling you, this is the 3rd time that you've had me on. And I've told you every time that the Mavs are interesting and the Mavs are a team to watch for. And I think now the NBA is coming to see this. It's not something where you got local fans saying this and Texas fans. No, the whole NBA knows that Luka's a top 2, top 3 player in the game, and that the Mavs are really a team to be reckoned with. And to think that after losing Carlisle to the Porzingis trade, everything that's happened with bringing in new leadership, I really think that this team now is got other teams in the West concerned, like, damn, I don't want to play Dallas. And I don't think 2 years ago you were saying that, because everybody knew, and even last year, it was just Luka. Porzingis is on half a leg. You got role players that are starters, but that might not need to be. We didn't even talk about Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, there's talent on this team, and again, I've seen them grow from the beginning to now. They're really, a top 3 team in the West, in my opinion.
Right. And to your point, I mean, yeah, I feel like they're gelling, they're hitting their groove now, like, so to speak, like, especially like since, January. But really, they've continued it on. It wasn't just like a short little, oh, they got hot. They've continued basically throughout this whole since the start of the year. And going back to the whole what gives them what the credit, who the credit goes to, I think that also goes into like you said, the coaching and everything changeover. Jason Kidd and the coaching staff gets a lot of credit because, like you said, like, teams weren't scared because, yeah, we had the high powered offense, but you knew we were open door on defense. Like, we couldn't guard anybody. We weren't guarding anybody.
Right.
And now this year with Jason Kidd, with literally almost the same team as Carlisle had last year, everybody's bought in on defense. So it's kind of that new breath of fresh air, kids brought in. And these guys have, and especially since the Porzingis trade, like, and piggyback on what you said, like, yeah, everybody knows their role now. And that's so true on this team. And, especially as someone on the outside looking in, like, yeah, you can definitely tell everybody knows their role. It's before it was like we had guys that were trying to do too much outside of the role because we didn't have the right pieces. And now it seems like we have at least the right pieces to make everything look smooth and look how it's supposed to go. And to go to your second, to the having a second star, that's like what we have right now is like a second star by committee, which is by
exactly.
which is like a Spencer Dinwiddie or Jalen Brunson. If you can combine and be that guy.
But that's why I think you guys got to be optimistic, because you guys are playing great basketball at this time of the year, gelling at the end when you're supposed to and you want to gel. And again, you guys have no real second star. You guys have 2 or 3 number 3 3 players, third best player on your team, maybe possibly even fourth, So
yeah, they bought in.
So
they've bought into Jason Kidd, what he's selling. They're all as a team. And that, honestly, you got to give credit to Luka, because he's bought in. He's bought in on the defensive side. Not to say he wasn't before, but with the new coaching staff, new year, everybody, kind of like a new, kind of like the whole New Year saying, new year, new me. New coaching staff, new, saying, trying to refresh button. Everybody starts with a new slate, clean slate. And Luka's, saying that he wants to be in the leader, or one of the leaders defensively. And he joked on the JJ Redick pod saying that, to everybody else, he said he wants to win, defensive player of the year and stuff. He thinks he's defensive player of the year and stuff. So, that's pretty, he's taking it, it's a joke, but he's taking it,
of course.
It shows that he's taking it seriously. Like, he knows that's a crucial part, especially being those last 2 playoff series. Yeah. Like, if we could just get crucial stops, like, maybe that thing goes, it goes different. There's so many different things that could have, but just for the Mavericks to be in the position where they could have advanced to the second round with the team they had
2 years in a row. 2 years
right
in a row.
right
And
now looking at the advances we're making with this team, where everyone's just gelling, we're playing defense the right way, and then offensively everyone's like in their role, doing what they're supposed to do. Like, yeah, man, I feel like the sky's the limit. Like,
this is a conference finals at least potential team, meaning they can make the conference finals, but they also can lose in the second round. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did either or. But if they continue to play the way they have, the chemistry that they have, and again, every great team, they know their identity. The players know their identity, and that's why they play their role and they have their moment to shine. Bobby Portis last year. Every team that's won a championship has players like that. They just get their little bit of time and they can shine.
They end the season in a not good groove and, playing the right way at the end of the year. And that's what we're seeing from the Mavs. So, yeah, a lot of.
And let me say one thing, too, bro. Relaying back on what you were talking about, Luka, and the defensive kind of mindset change, with J Kidd and Dudley over there now.
It's Sweeney.
I remember a long time ago, And for the hoop heads on listening right now, and AG, I know you know who I'm talking about. I remember this guy not being a great defender, and he went into a team that they were all about defense, and they played, all together. Nobody was great defenders. I'm talking about the Detroit Pistons and Chauncey Billups in particular. Chauncey
Mm,
Billups wasn't a great defender, but when he
right,
got and Rip Hamilton wasn't a great defender. They were
right,
okay. They played, decent, but they were scorers. When they got to Detroit, man, they bought into the system. They bought into the mentality. They bought into the mindset that the coaching staff relayed
right.
down from Larry Brown, and they became great defenders. Both of those players, Rip Hamilton,
Right.
but I
It
was
helps when
speaking
you
more
have Ben
so about
Wallace.
Chauncey. Of
It
course,
helps when you have Ben
of course it
Wallace
helps.
covering the paint for
Of
you. But I
course,
get what
and
you're saying. I
of
feel what
course,
you're
you
saying.
had Tayshaun Prince at the three. So
Yeah,
you
right.
definitely had great defenders. But this team has a Reggie Bullock. I'm not saying he's a Tayshaun Prince.
No, I
They
definitely
got
see the
good defenders,
similarities of what you're trying to say.
but the effort is what I'm talking about. Now you
Right.
see
And
Luka
that's
with the
yeah,
effort, and that's a
yes.
good sign because the kid's only 22, 23 years old. He's still really young, and he's still going to learn and learn and learn. But if he's starting to get that now, that's only going to help you guys for when you guys are real legit contenders and are, finals bound and finals, uh trying to play in the
Yeah.
title for the title. So, very very optimistic on how the Mavs have looked and are ascending at the moment.
Right. They're hitting their stride. And we'll talk about potential matchups in just a second. We'll go into a little bit deeper dive with the Mavs on that. I want to get your thoughts on that. But real quick, I want to ask you about this Lakers team. Obviously they were missing LeBron. AD wasn't back yet. He might come back this weekend, they say, either against the Pelicans or on Monday's game. But you know, what do you think about these Lakers now? They just, since losing this game, now they've dropped to out of the play-in. Spurs take it at the 10 seed. Do you think these Lakers now will make the play-in? Do you think they'll be able to make the play-in?
I in my heart, I'm gonna say no because I think that pretty soon, sooner than later, actually, Jeannie and Rob and Frank, they're gonna talk to LeBron, and they're not gonna want to rush AD. What's the purpose of getting the 10th or ninth seed and possibly losing in that first playing game or the second playing game, or even advancing and playing Phoenix or who's the second seed right now?
Memphis.
Memphis, or Golden State, and get running out by these young, squads that are full of life and energy. This season's over, AG. I'm a Laker diehard, man, but this season's over, and there's nobody to blame but themselves, and not really LeBron because LeBron's played lights out, man. I'm talking about Russ. I'm talking about the fact that AD's never healthy. I like some of the guys they got, like Monk, but I mean, there's not a whole lot of excitement for next year. I mean, like I said, Monk, we'd like to bring him back. Austin Reeves is an interesting. I wouldn't say he's a great, he's going to be a phenomenal player. I have to see his potential. I think he can be a good role player, 3 and D. Your first or second guy off the bench, possibly starting here and there. I don't know if he's on that Caruso level. Caruso did it for 3 years. He was one. You talk to some guys, man. Caruso's one of the top defenders for if you talk to personal guys in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best players, man. They
Yeah.
will tell you Caruso. Curry said Caruso's one of the best defenders that guards him in today's game. I don't see a lot of optimism for my team, man. LeBron is only getting older, and every freaking year I always say the father time is going to catch him up, and it seems like every year he just proves us all wrong.
Yeah.
Because the guy's 37. I mean, he's going into his 20th year next year, plus playoff time. That's like 22, 23 seasons, damn near, man.
Mm.
I
A
definitely,
lot of miles. That's a lot of
a
miles.
lot of miles. I want to be optimistic, but as far as going back to the question with the plan and the playoffs, I don't want to see them go. I want to see them get their rest and try to reboot for next year, man, and see what we can do about Russ because everybody in the fucking league knows it's a bad fit. Everybody in the league knows that Russ is just not the same player. He's still going to give you 18 and 8 rebounds and 7 assists or 9 assists or
Right.
11 assists here and there, but he's still going to turn the ball over 4 times. He's still going to, take 3-pointers with 22 seconds left on the shot clock. He's still going to make these boneheaded decisions that Russ has done since he's been with KD, man. So, Russ is a good player. He's not a great player no more, and he's going down. It's not like he's still, 28 and he had a, injured year. No, he's 33 going on 34 this year in November. He's old, his athleticism is gone, and it's a shame because LeBron's last year or two with the Lakers should at least be them, at least, taste in the conference finals, if not better.
Yeah.
It's the expectations that you are when you're a Laker. And, some of the things that
That's what
Russ has
they're there for.
said, some of the things Russ has said, like he didn't have expectations coming into being a
Yeah.
Laker, that's bullshit. Because
Yeah.
if you're, let's say, Devin Booker, and you sign with Minnesota next year, you have expectation because you're one of the best players. And he, I think, ran away from the spotlight. And let me tell you something, AG, it is not easy to be a Laker. It's not easy to be a Yankee. It's not easy to be a Dallas Cowboy. These are teams that
Oh
when
yeah.
you play for them, man, there's a different light that turns on. And the
Right.
Lakers are
The
the team for the league,
expectations
for the NBA,
are
man.
set
So
high.
the bar is set very high in LA as being a Laker, as just as it is as being a Cowboy. And I just don't think that it was the right fit and it was right time. Maybe 6-7 years ago when Kobe was nearing the end and Russ could have carried the load, and and he kind of could have learned from Kobe, and then now he would have been a seasoned knowledge vet. But this guy still does the same shit he's done since he was 20, coming in, getting drafted by this then Seattle Seattle Sonics, or soon to be Thunder. So he hasn't changed, man. This team, I don't see them doing good. Next year, I see them being a potential, bubble team again, or playing team, and as a Laker fan, it's sad, but it's the way it goes, bro. And I'm glad to see the home local state that I'm living in and city that I'm living in is doing good, and the Mavs are here, who we're here to talk about.
Right. You get to experience some positivity in that
For sure.
negative LA Laker world, little bubble y'all have.
Yes,
But
sir.
I mean, it is what it is. But at least y'all got the chip out of it. At the end of the day, y'all can still say y'all won it.
They got
You
the
know what I'm
chip,
saying?
and AD will
And
still
this
get
came
you a decent, package back, and LeBron.
right.
I mean, bro, if we
This
called
is the
Dallas,
price y'all pay.
you're
I feel
right.
like this is just the price y'all
If
pay
if we
for it.
called Mark Cuban and we said, hey, we want Brunson, we want who are some other prize guys that, let's say, Tim Hardaway Jr., we want Bertans, we want a package for LeBron, and you guys compare LeBron with Doncic. I don't know if many Mavs fans agree with this, but I think he would do it. So the potential is still there. We still have tradable assets. I think it's just about
You
them.
think LA would trade LeBron?
I think if LeBron went to them, okay,
Okay,
and
okay.
said
This is
and said,
like
hey, I want to
if
go to Dallas, for
LeBron's like, I
example.
want to
I
leave.
want to
Yeah,
go to Dallas, for example.
right.
And Dallas said, okay, we're going to give you three future first round picks, or 4 future first round picks, and then we're going to throw in Brunson, and then we're going to throw
Yeah,
in Tim Hardaway, and let's say, something like that.
right.
I think what I'm basically telling you is that LeBron still has a lot of value, man.
Yep.
And if you can get, let's say, 4 first round future firsts for him, and let's say CJ McCollum, and then I'm just throwing random names out there, and then you trade AD and you get let's say, I don't know, somebody else plus 3 future first. That's 7 for future first plus 2 pretty
Trying to
decent
get the
players.
haul
So I'm
and
just
most
saying,
value.
that's the only thing that I,
Yeah,
as a
that's
Laker fan, have hopes on, because I don't see this team with AD being always hurt and LeBron getting old, almost about to be 40 soon, bro. I don't see this team, really going crazy. And plus, the guy wants to play with his son, and I think everybody knows that. So, in
right.
my opinion, what he's gonna do, man, is he's gonna wait. He's gonna finish his career off, at least his Laker career, and then in 2 years, when Bronny is ready to go to the league, wherever Bronny goes, he's gonna tell the Lakers, "I want to go there," and that team is most likely gonna be, anywhere from the the worst team to the 15th worst team, a lottery team. and
Be a
and
free
Bron-
agent.
and they're gonna have draft picks, and the Lakers are gonna end up. That's what I think. He's gonna get traded
Yeah,
for draft picks,
but
like some
honestly,
crazy
LeBron could
5 draft
free
picks or
agent.
whatever.
LeBron could be a free agent and just go wherever Bronny
Well,
goes.
he just signed a 2-year, remember, extension. So
Oh,
he's
I
he
forgot about
yeah.
that. Yeah. So he just
So that's what I'm
so
telling
yeah,
you, bro. In my
he would have
opinion, the Lakers are gonna get a lot of picks for AD and LeBron in the next 2-3 years. And my Mavs fans, don't be salty about it.
yeah. I can see how you want to go that route. I just don't see y'all because I mean it would be tough to retool and try to like go after it. But I feel like that's what the route y'all are gonna take. I don't think y'all are gonna like just get rid of them after next year. In 2 years, yeah, I can see that starting to shape out. But like for next year, I feel like y'all are gonna try to
Yeah, I
retool.
think they're gonna definitely try.
Got to
Right now,
give
they're gonna look at it like, look, AD, you get healthy. LeBron, finish
right.
this lap. There's no playoffs for you guys. Get this extra time to get healthy. They're probably gonna get AD a trainer because this guy can't stay healthy to save his fucking life. And
You
once they
know,
do
got
that,
LeBron right
bro,
there.
they're gonna try to do it again with trading Russ for probably, let's say they'll probably have to go back to that John Wall, straight up, and at least from there, they'll know, hey, John Wall's on expiring now. I mean, Russ will be on an expiring. So next year, he's going to be a lot more tradable than he is this year. Next year, you can offer him to a team on the brink of making the playoffs like Orlando, or, you know what I mean? Someone like that, like Sacramento, somebody who's desperate just to sell
Right.
tickets. And Russell Westbrook is going to sell tickets. So next year, being on an expiring for him, he's probably going to be tradable. So I'm not saying they're going to get a whole lot for him, but I don't see that guy lasting past this offseason. I really don't.
Yeah, it's y'all are in a very tough spot.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, like you said, my next question was gonna be, do you think you survived the plan? But you don't think they're gonna make it. So yeah, I feel you on that. It would be nice to see them somehow make the play in just to make things interesting. Or
It would be too, and the sorry to cut you off, is
no,
only
you're
because
good.
they don't have the draft pick. So if they could have,
Yeah,
let's say they had the
yeah,
draft pick, then it's more reason to be like, you know what, don't even because you want that good draft pick, but they're not going to
right.
even get the draft pick.
Yep.
So I wouldn't doubt the Lakers brass say also, you know what, just ride it out. Let's get this bubble. Let's get this playing game because we're going to make the playing game at least 10th seed. Let's get that because they can hold off the Spurs. They probably won't pass New Orleans, but let's hold off the Spurs. We'll get this 10th seed. We're going to end up playing right now. I want to say the 7th seed is
It's Minnesota at 7.
Minnesota. They can beat Minnesota, in
No,
my opinion. If they play,
Minnesota. No, it's Minnesota will play the Clippers
okay, so we
for
would,
that, and then y'all play the loser of
okay,
that for the eighth
copy.
seed.
Well,
So
anyways, I,
yeah,
I think they can get out of the bubble, the playing game.
the
I
play
really do. I keep saying bubble. I'm sorry.
right.
I think they can get out of the playing game and go to the first round because one game, LeBron, I'm putting my money on Bron. I'm
Right.
sorry,
Yeah.
especially against Minnesota and the
That's what I'm
Clippers
saying.
with
If y'all
no Paul George, or
what
or
makes
or
y'all
fucking New Orleans.
yeah, what makes y'all dangerous is if y'all are fully healthy. Like if LeBron was able to come back, and AD comes back strong, like then all of a sudden, those scenarios start to look right. And honestly, I would just like to see a still, Phoenix have to play like y'all in the first round. Like even though Phoenix might win, I'd still love have to Phoenix have to play a LeBron, AD, and Russell healthy. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
them
yeah.
down some.
To make
They
to
could
make
stretch out the
you guys
series
have an
or
easier
something.
road. To possibly make you guys have an easier
Right.
road. If let's
Exactly.
say that goes 7 games.
That's
Let's just say that it goes 7 games. Okay, for God's sakes. And now you guys had to play them in the second
right.
round, and you guys won in 5 games. That's more rest for you guys. You want
Yeah,
Phoenix to be
exactly.
banged up.
You want the tougher matchup.
You want Memphis to be banged up.
Yeah, and
And,
that's
and and man, I wanted to get back on what you were gonna say, but I'm gonna wait because I just thought of something with Memphis and Phoenix and Golden State, and we'll get into that matchup
yeah,
shit.
that's what I was about to say. I was about to transition over because that was perfect transition over because we're gonna actually go into let's go and dive into the potential matchups for the Dallas Mavericks. And one of those matchups we're starting off with, as you said, right now we're in the fourth seed. We could even eventually move up to the third seed by the end of the week, but we'll just see how things shake out. But we're in that area, and Mavs could possibly end up playing the Utah Jazz, the Denver Nuggets, or the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round. The most likely would be Jazz or Nuggets, but we'll go ahead and start with the Jazz, who are the most likely opponent. What do you think about the Jazz?
I think that the Jazz are beatable. Because I think you guys can get Gobert out of the game where he doesn't even play. Um, I think with that small ball lineup, you guys can really take them. And that's what every team does to Utah. It seems like they get
Yeah,
Gobert to not play, and you
right.
just do that by putting a guy that's mobile and can shoot,
Yeah,
because the
just
guy's always going to be on
spread
the
them out.
yeah, he's always going to be by the rim, guarding the paint. So if you spread him out, man, he's out the game, and he ends up playing 15, 20 minutes. So with Utah, I definitely think you guys, I wouldn't be scared playing Utah. I would be confident, and
Right.
especially if you have home court, because it is hard to win in Utah. And you can have game 1 and 2 and now 6 and 7 potentially at your home. Then you're talking about a very winnable first round series.
Or here, I'm gonna go ahead and skip the next about each team. I'm just gonna ask you straight up: which team would you, if you were the Mavericks, you're a Maverick fan, which team would you want to face in the first round?
I
Either the
would
Jazz, Nuggets, or
absolutely
Timberwolves.
I would absolutely want to rather play the Timberwolves. I just think that,
Interesting.
Edwards is still too young. Russell's never been in the playoffs. Cat is a cocky little
No,
shit.
Russell's been in playoffs. Well, I
Oh,
think
with
yeah,
Brooklyn,
with
with Brooklyn, yeah,
Brooklyn.
with Brooklyn. But that was a different situation. So he did get a taste, and you are right for correcting me there, because you are right. But
That was
I don't
I just
didn't
remember
they
that him and Dinwiddie because
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
when
No, you're absolutely right. But they weren't even expected to really make the playoffs, and they ended up
yeah they
being
were
pretty
that
good.
tough fighting
Yeah.
8, 7
Um.
seed. Yeah.
Yeah, they played Philly, and they played them tough with Dudley and all them. I would absolutely rather play the Timberwolves, but
Timberwolves. That's
but
interesting.
I would say this though, man. Denver, I wouldn't want to play, because Jokic, you can't take him out the game. Because even though he is kind of immobile like Gobert, the guy is fucking freaky athletics. And he doesn't even look or seem like he is, but he kind of is. And he's just one of those guys that, like, he's a smart player, and he makes the right play every
Talking about
fucking
Jokic.
time. Yeah, I'm talking about Big Yoke, and
Yeah.
I just feel like he would be the sleeper out of the three teams. But for me, the order would be on wanting to play the
Yeah.
Timberwolves, and then the Nuggets, and then the Jazz. But
Mm,
the Jazz are interesting because, even though I know the Mavs have at the moment a game and a half lead on them, and I think they have the potential tiebreaker with them, um, I would be okay playing the Jazz if you guys got home court. Now, if the Mavs end up switching with them and flopping, and then now they're the fifth seed, and Utah gets the fourth, that can be potentially bad, because now you get the first two games in Utah, and if that game 6 and 7 or game seven's in Utah, you don't want to play Utah in game 7. So,
or the Mavs could somehow fall and then end up having to play the Warriors as 6 seed. That would be bad.
or if they switch with the Warriors. I mean, so you got a lot of potential.
Right.
So now, AG, you got to ask yourself, now let's say the Mavs go to the third seed, and now you're talking about either the Nuggets or the Timberwolves or the Jazz. You're keeping the same potential, matchups, but now in the second round, you're probably going to most likely play Memphis,
Yeah,
who
I was
I
going
would
to bring
rather
that. I
play.
had that written down. That was the point. You beat me to it. You son of a bitch.
That's because I know my hoop, bro. I
Yeah, I
know my
know.
hoop.
That was exactly what I was going to bring up. Yep. If we somehow fuck around and get this 3rd seed, if the Mavericks fuck around and get the 3rd seed, and everything else stays as is, in the second round, we could end up playing Memphis, meaning we could go through and have a better chance playing Memphis, and then get into the conference finals is when we would have to play Phoenix. If they make it that far, which they
Now, let me switch it on you, even though I know this is your pod, brother. Who would you rather play if you were the third seed now, and let's say, would you rather play the Grizzlies or?
Oh, I have my list of who I'd want us to play: the Jazz first, Nuggets second, and then the Timberwolves third. And
You
the
would
reason
want them to play the Jazz first? Okay.
Yeah, the Jazz, because I just feel like we just have their number, or not really have their number, but I
Matchup
just feel
wise
like
too.
we, in a sense, like that Rudy Gobert Luka Magic, because he's always, if that, we play them, we're just gonna get the mismatch on him, and they're gonna have to do something else, and it's gonna make just Rudy just look terrible, and I feel like that's gonna break the team up, and I would just love for the Mavs to break through the first round with just like such a victory that breaks the whole team up in a sense. So like I just like the whole storyline with the Utah Jazz. I feel like we match up well. Like
Yeah, I
in
agree with that.
5 out, like we talked about earlier, like going 5 out against Rudy, like it really works well, especially if everybody's hitting their shots. So I kind of want the Utah. Second, I would want Denver. And that's because I do agree with your point. Like you can't, it's hard. You can't even double like Jokic because he does what Luka does. He finds the open guy. But then that's when you start getting into why I want them in the second round, or I mean I want to face them. Secondly, is because who is he passing it to? They don't have a lot of depth compared to our depth. I feel like, I mean, we don't have super depth, but I feel like our depth, like after Jokic, the next players on the roster that are available for them, I feel like our next 2 through 8, or whatever our rotation is better than their rotation. And I feel like that'll work in our favor, and I feel like that's favorable matchup. I feel like the Mavericks could take advantage of our guard play against their guard play, and that'll be that in that series. And yeah, we'd have to worry about Yoga. He kills us, but as long as we can stop everybody else, I feel like they don't get Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. That would be the scary part. Then I would put them last, but as of right now, as their team, I'd have them second, and then Timberwolves, I'd want to play them third. I'm not scared to play them. I said after the Timberwolves pod. After the Timberwolves game, the Mavs played the Timberwolves, that I want to play them in the playoffs. If it comes down, like we end up playing them, like I'm happy about it because I feel like we just could take them on. Like they're the young guns, and the inexperience and stuff. But that's also why I don't want to play them. Like that's the third team because they're the inexperienced. They don't know any better. Like they're a healthy squad compared to these other teams. They're healthy. Like they have D Russ playing, they have Anthony Edwards playing, they have Cat playing. Those are three legit, like
And they're all
stars.
young, and they're all young.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
they're all
like
young.
they
Those
have
are three
energy. They
stars. You don't want to
you
go
tend
against
not to
them.
get hurt.
Yeah, you don't want to go against them. Have Denver Nuggets from was it a year or 2 years ago where they just the bubble year where they
Right.
just went through the rounds. That's why I feel like Timberwolves kind of give off those like scary vibes if all of a sudden Anthony Edwards puts his shit together and starts scoring like 25 a game in the playoffs. You're just like, oh shit, this guy's putting it together. And then a Cat, I feel like he's consistent with doing what he does. But then all of a sudden, if you got Anthony Edwards averaging over 20, and all of a sudden D Russ gets hot, shooting wise, like then you got a problem. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like you got a definite problem playing Minnesota. And I feel like if Denver was healthy, you'd have, kind of similar situation. But Denver's not healthy. That's why I have, you know, Timberwolves last, Denver second, and I want to play the Jazz first.
So what about if you guys end up with the fourth or fifth seed, right? Now you guys end up with the fourth seed, for example.
Right.
Out of the first three seeds, what order would you go with that? So for me, I would rather play Memphis first, and then the second I would rather play the Warriors, and then my third that I would want to play would be Phoenix.
Okay, the top teams. Yeah. Phoenix obviously last because it feels like they have our number. Grizzlies first, and then Warriors in the middle.
Yeah, so we agree on that. Then.
Yeah. Grizzlies because they're young. They're still
But
in.
see, like you said, man, it really does. I agree with that comment, man. Like you want to play them because they have no experience, but then they're so young that it's like they
That could
know
play to
no
their
better.
favor.
They're on the fly,
Yeah.
and
They don't
Ja
give a
is
fuck.
a top 5-7 player in the league at the moment as we speak, bro. So you
Right.
know, anytime he's like a Jokic where this guy can go off anytime. Ja can give you 48 tonight, out of nowhere. So it's with those kind of players like a Luka, he single-handedly almost beat the Clippers 2 years in a row.
Right.
And the Clippers, at least in the bubble 2 years ago, were everybody's favorite to make it out the West. So they were 2 games away from beating them, if not one, if it wasn't for those bogus bullshit calls and Porzingis getting kicked out of game 1 of that bubble year. But
Right. I feel like the Mavs are really definitely trying to push for that home court advantage this year.
and I told you, I don't know if you remember, man, the first had me in the pod. I told you that for the city of Dallas and for the city out here, you guys need home court advantage. I said that on the very
Oh,
first
yeah.
pod you put me on, bro. I said it for the city alone, it would be necessary and it would be important. And sure enough, now Trey's back and Lakers Chris was kind of right. They're looking like they're going to lock that 4 seed up and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
going to have home court advantage.
Yeah, and to that point, like I've said for sure, and like Luca's even said it. Like I forgot if it was at the beginning of the season or something that like they want home court advantage this year, and I don't understand like these other people I was listening to and stuff like that. It's like they forgot that they have like recency in their mind and bias against and they're just like, oh man, Luca's saying that they're not focusing or they're not worried or they're not Luka that the team isn't worried about they're not watching the standings, they're not trying to keep up with that type of stuff. But no, they already said it throughout the year, like very beginning, like yeah, we want home court, like they've been comments already like how that shit sucked, like how much they know that home court really matters in the playoffs, because like when we played the Clippers, like you said, especially last year, every road game, every road team won the game except for game 7. Then the Clippers had home court advantage. Game 7 they ended up winning, and it worked in their favor. So that type of series, it really clicked for the Mavs. They're like, all right, we need to get the top 4 and make sure we're playing at home in front of our crowd, and if this shit goes down to a game, we have our fans have our back and shit. And so I really think they're focused on that. Now, whether they're going for the 3 seed or the 4 seed, I don't know. I just know they want to finish, that top 4 so they can get home court. And I think that's smart because it would really help, especially in these matchups. Because like if we play, say, I want Utah, and that looks like our most likely matchup as of right now, as of today, March 29th. But say we do play the Jazz. Jazz are really good at home. Like we've lost. I think the Mavericks have lost like 11 straight, like at Utah, like some crazy shit like that. Like it's like Utah is a tough place to play. Like at their arena. That's
Of
why I
course.
think having home court advantage really will boost us in that series. And
Bro, let me tell you though, you guys need that 3 seed, and you guys should want that 3 seed. And the reason why
I hope
is
they go for
because if they get that 3 seed now, we're talking about them playing the Grizzlies in the second round.
exactly.
And if they play the Grizzlies in the second round, we can potentially have the Dallas Mavericks, currently constructed without a legit second option, to be in the conference finals.
Right.
And be 1 series away from the finals, bro, with a new team, with no second option. Again, it's no insult to your team. Like you said, it's a second option by committee every night.
Right.
You don't know who's going to give it to you. You don't know if it's going to be, can be Dodo one day. It can be,
Reggie the next.
it can be Reggie. It can be Dinwiddie, who it's been for the most of the time. It can be Bertans. It can be anybody, man. It's by committee, like you said. But for them to do that, to go to the conference finals, even if they got swept in the conference finals, I think Dallas would be very, very ecstatic and optimistic.
For sure. Anything past the first round, Mavs fans are just like,
salivating for. Yep.
Oh, it's cherry on top. After the first round, anything else is just cherry on top. Like, because that's all we're pushing for. We just want to get past that first round, over that first round hump. Like, once we get that, like, everything's just I feel like the weight's going to be lifted. And then, yeah, we could have that, like, Denver type run that I talked about in their bubble, where they went all the way to the conference finals and challenged, them for that. So, yeah, I really like where the Mavericks are at and where this team's at, and like how the direction they're going. And I hope now, knowing that the whole once I found out about us, actually looking at the bracket and us, possibly playing Memphis in the second round, I'm like, hell yeah, because with all that, you remember all the hoopla John Morant's been getting this year, all the praise he's been getting in the media, him getting that all-star starter spot over Luka. Luka's been holding that over the Grizzlies quietly but surely. Because when we play them, he has their number. He has their number. So like us getting that third seed, and then potentially if we move on playing them in the second round, oh, I'm sure Luka would love that to go on like in the second round and just destroy this national media. Everybody's in love with all over the TV and shit. Luka would love to go and just destroy them. And put his name like, nah, don't forget who I am. Don't forget, what I
Well, you know,
heard.
somebody asked the other day, uh, who would I rather have, Luca or Ja? And I went with Luca, and I went with Luca because yeah, he's been hurt, but he doesn't play and is in potential of getting hurt every year. Ja is like Russ. He's like Derrick Rose, where they just play so hard that they can get hurt any fucking time.
Yeah,
And Zion's the same way. That's why Zion hasn't been able to showcase his talent like that,
that
because
reckless.
they play so above the rim and so fast and so athletic
Right.
that it's almost harmful for their health. And with Luca, he plays the slow pace, Paul Pierce type of, slow mo game. And I
Right.
mean, he's the best. He's one of the best one-on-one players in the league. He's, arguably my favorite player, and he's just a beast, man. And today tonight what he did against the Lakers, he's what the new generation says. He was cooking, man. He was cooking in that first quarter, and by the third quarter he had a freaking triple double, his 46th of his career.
Oh yeah, he was definitely cooking tonight, man. Damn, man, that's a great way to kind of end that whole segment right there, man. You kind of put the cherry on top right there, because yeah, man, the Mavs are just rolling tonight, and tonight shows it like the growth of this team, man. They came in, they handled business, and we just went through another little tough stretch going Minnesota and Utah, and now Mavs are in like in control of this fourth seed right now. And things are looking good for us, man. We play at Cleveland tomorrow, and you were wondering if this game got tight, then everybody's gonna be tired. But we kind of handle business now. Mavs are gonna go on to play at Cleveland tomorrow, and they'll have enough rest, and then that'll be a fun game. And then Friday is gonna be the real fun game at Washington. That the whole Porzingis thing, that'll be a good one. But yeah, the Mavs are really getting things moving for the rest of this season, and that's good to see. Good stuff. And before we get out of here and I let you go, Chris, I want to get I got one more basketball question for you, my friend.
Yes, sir.
I need to know, what are your Final Four predictions? Who do you have winning it all? Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, or Villanova?
Man, you know, I haven't watched as much as I like to, but for me, man, I'm going Nova and I am going Dookie. I think
Ooh.
I think Villanova has.
Even they lost their like one of their best players. He tore his Achilles that last game.
Oh, he did. Oh shit.
Yeah,
So maybe Kansas is destined to go.
right. That's
I,
that. I think
I'm still gonna go Nova, man,
okay.
because Villa is in my last name, so I'm always biased towards them.
Right. You're
And
right. Yeah, yeah,
because Jay Wright is a two-time champion. He's a hell of a coach. He's one of the most underrated coaches in
yeah.
the NCAA. And I would be lying to you if I told you I knew that one of their best players is out with the torn ACL. That's definitely gonna hurt them. But shit, I'm gonna stick with Nova. And then with the North Carolina Duke game, man,
You
I
said
want
I
to
do.
say Duke is gonna win because for Coach K.
Right, right,
But also I think this last game Duke, North Carolina left a sour taste in Duke's mouth because
right.
the
That.
last home game at
Yup.
Camden, Coach K lost, and they didn't lose by like it was they beat them by a good amount, 7 or 8 points, I
Yeah.
want to say. So I think that left a sour taste in the Duke players' mouths, as well as Duke nation. So I think I definitely got it going Duke Nova. And man, as much as I don't want to see Duke win, I think they're gonna win it, man. And I think
Hey.
and I think a lot of ways it's kind of bullshit because I mean it's great for the the legacy of Duke and the legacy of Coach K because he's
Right,
hands down one of the best coaches in the league, man.
for
I
sure.
mean in the NCAA and
Just
you know
ever.
to run it back, man, Kobe wanted the guy. Kobe wanted him to be the coach of the Lakers. You can read about that or you can look it up. He
Right.
wanted Coach K. Coach K, I want to believe, I want to say on the three man, the what is it with the JJ Redick
The
podcast,
old,
Old Man in the
old
Three.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to say that he goes on there. He goes on somebody's podcast. One of the top 5 or 6. I think it might have
Mm-hmm.
been either him or Shannon's or somebody's. And he says that he was pretty close to going to the Lakers, but at the end he pulled. But yeah, I just think that I mean it just would be perfect for the NCAA. If Duke goes, and even if it was Duke Kansas, let's say for example. I mean, I still will go with Duke. I mean, I think
Yeah.
Kansas might be the better team, but sometimes, man, these
Dude's got the stars.
yeah, and I really like this kid from Duke. He's
Ben
like a
Carroll.
yeah, he's pretty good, man. I think he's gonna be a top 2 or 3 pick. I
Oh
don't
yeah. Sure.
bit more of him to give you a comparison because that's one of the things I like to do. I
He's,
like to give NBA comps.
to
But
me, he's like a Ben Simmons that isn't scared to shoot.
yeah, I guess you can
Like
say that
legit,
because
he's like a
yeah,
Ben Simmons that isn't scared
yeah,
to shoot.
yeah. He plays a little defense. He's long.
Can make
Definitely.
he
I can
makes
definitely
play
see
make
that.
he can pass. He's a really good
Yeah,
passer. Makes some
yeah.
really good zip passes that are
Maybe he's like a
like
skinnier,
eye
more
popping.
athletic. Maybe he's like a skinnier, more athletic Boris Diaw. I mean, I don't know. Like he's got length. He's Boris Diaw was a hell of a IQ guy. He
Right.
could pass the shit out of the ball. He can
But
score. He
I love his score. He's scoring and like the way he's playing in this tournament, like he's right now I think he's projected number 2 overall. But the way
yeah,
he's
number 2.
playing, like he could end up being the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dookie, man, to win it. Although I would love to see Nova win, I would probably want if I had to choose, I would go Nova. Like it's who I would want to see: Nova, Carolina, and then probably Duke, and then Kansas. But I wouldn't be surprised either way. But what do you think, man? Who do you think is going?
That's
Assuming you're
smart.
going to go Kansas, Carolina.
Choosing with your head. No, I'm Duke. I like Duke. I think they're gonna win it. I think they'll
Okay,
go
but who are they going to play though?
Kansas since
Okay,
that Nova injury was big. Otherwise,
yeah.
I was gonna pick Villanova to win, but then I found out.
Really? Oh shit. Yeah. I mean, one of the best players. Who is that? Who are you talking
I
about?
don't remember. I don't know his name. I just remember he had the braids. Like he had a little bit of color in there or something, but I don't remember his name. He's light skinned dude. Damn, I can't remember what number he was either. But he tore his I think he tore his Achilles or some shit. Like it's sad. But yeah, he's not gonna be playing for them, and he was like their best player. So
Yeah.
without that, I think Kansas kind of is gonna take. I mean, I can still see Nova just winning just because off of we're gonna do this for our boy, come out guns blazing and beat Kansas. But I feel like I feel like Duke's gonna beat North Carolina. And then whoever Duke plays out of Kansas and Villanova, they could beat both those teams. I feel like the only way Duke loses if will be to North Carolina.
They were a 2 seed in the tourney. What was their final? Do you know what their final regular season ranking
Record?
was?
No, it was like 25 wins or something, 26 wins.
Yeah, I just want to
Duke.
see what their final.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, I wanted to see what their final ranking was for the regular season. Let me.
Oh, the ranking. Oh,
Yeah.
I think meant their wins. Yeah, I don't know the ranking.
No, but I know they were the 2nd seed in the bracket.
Right.
But,
yeah, but yeah, I got Duke. I think Duke's gonna take it, man. I think
they were number 9, bro. They were number 9. They ended the year top 10, number 9. So that for them to win the whole thing would be great. It would be great for Coach K. I like Coach K, man. I don't know.
Coach K, USA basketball.
Yeah, USA
medals.
basketball.
So he means a lot just to basketball in general. So I hopefully he gets sent out on a high note.
That would be cool.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, man. That's pretty much it. Appreciate having you on, Lakers, Chris. Appreciate you coming on and blessing us with your hoop knowledge.
No problem, bro. I appreciate you guys having me. It's always great to be on this podcast. It's one of the up and coming podcasts for Dallas Maverick hoop heads and fans and NBA fans in general. And I salute your dedication, brother.
My man, I appreciate the promotion there. I appreciate it a lot.
All day,
Appreciate
bro.
that a lot, my man.
I'll
And
talk to you.
guys, look, don't forget, man, the Mavs play tomorrow at Cleveland at the 6 o'clock game. So don't forget, early start time.
I'm
And
gonna
then
tune into that game, man. I'm gonna watch that on the phone at work because Cleveland is another up and coming young team. Mobley
right,
and
did
uh,
you see
and uh,
that
the Gar
Mobley?
Gar and the Garland kid. I don't know if you know any other Garlands. I know a couple, but yeah.
Right. Hey, but I think Mobley might be hurt. Yeah, he's out.
Oh, is
Just
he out?
checked and look right on their on the ESPN
Well,
website.
that's good for you
Out.
guys, right? So I
I was
mean,
about to say
shit, you
that.
shouldn't be mad.
Good shit for the Mavericks. Good news, because that was like besides we play, because after this we play at Cleveland, then we play at Washington. It'll be a fun game on Friday, April Fools. We play the fucking Wizards, Porzingis, Dinwiddie. That should just be fun all over. But the only other tough game really left on the schedule besides when I was looking at that Cleveland game was we played Milwaukee on Sunday, and that'll be a 12 o'clock ABC. So after that, man, hopefully the Mavericks can cruise like they have been this last, the rest of this year, and they can just keep playing right the right way. And yeah, man, I'm AG. Thanks for listening, guys. You can follow if you want on Twitter. It's at Mavs_rundown. The Mavs Rundown podcast, of course, is on YouTube along with Spotify and the Anchor app. So go and check that out. And remember, cool heads prevail. And I'll see y'all next time on the Mavs Rundown.
All right.